And we say good morning to you. We are broadcasting live on the road today, as we are with Chick-fil-A again on this beautiful Chamber of Commerce Monday, October the 7th, or 6th, really, see on the show. Number 2372 is where we are, broadcasting live, having a big time already. We're going to be joined by Andrew Smith, sports writer of the Johnson City Press, coming up here momentarily, and the Kingsport Times News. Sean Witten joins us, top of the hour, head football coach of the Cyclones. He'll be with us. And then also going to be joined by Gary Rowe from the SEC football. We'll take a look at a little SEC football. Andrew's going to talk volleyball and Tennessee football against Arkansas, whatever else on his mind. So we'll have that for you coming up. And then we'll, as we said, be ready to go with Sean Witten and Gary Rowe. And maybe, yep, he's here, Axel Steins. He may shine. So there you go. Let's get it going. Of course, Elizabethton City School's on fall break this week, so it's kind of a laid-back week. We'll be with you here today. Tomorrow we'll be at Milligan University. Wednesday we'll be at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. Then we're going to take Thursday and Friday and disappear. Probably just sit at home. Just do something. Just disappear for fall break and get ready. Of course, Cyclones are off this week. Get ready for next week and pick back up in the rest of the season. And we'll do that with East and Seymour at Greenville. So that's your next three for the Cyclones. Here they are, the Kingdom Heirs of the National Anthem on the Tom Taylor Sports.
1, 2. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Drug Center, Health Mart Pharmacy. Tell me about that. Why does that help the consumer in the community shop?
Yeah, the Health Mart is a group that whenever pharmacies buy drugs, they're able to contract with small pharmacies and get us purchasing power the same as a big pharmacy would be able to do, like a big chain or something like that. So basically all our prescriptions that we buy and anything over the counter like medicines, braces, glasses, really about anything, it lets us get cheaper prices. That is good for us and good for our customers, because a lot of people think coming to a small pharmacy you may have to pay more for prescriptions or over the counters, but if anything, it's cheaper here.
Yep. It's not the case. It's cheaper here. Hours are open, again, at Lingerfield Drug Center.
Yeah, here Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturdays, 9 to 12.
How do we find you on social media?
On Facebook is Lingerfield Drug Center.
And you know when we'll ask you, the magic phone number is?
It's 423-542-2138.
Health Mart Pharmacy. There's a sign hanging up there. Lingerfield Drug Center, one of our great sponsors of Cyclone Sports. and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, guest number one, ready to bring it to you. We are here and ready, and we appreciate him coming by. Andrew Smith, sports writer, Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing well, Tom. Always a pleasure to come hop on.
Absolutely. We love to have you on, too. So we're here again. It's a Chamber of Commerce Monday, folks. Absolutely gorgeous out here. This is what you call fall for me at its finest. 70 and 80s for your highs and 40s and 50s for your lows. Got some rain coming in here, which we need in a couple of days. Getting kind of dry out there. But top 25 college football. Penn State. Now it's buyout Monday. Today it's James Franklin. In the past, it's been DeBoer and Dabo and Pick'em. Kirby Smart, they got beat by Alabama, so some of these people wanting their heads on the platter. So this week, it's Penn State getting beat by who? UCLA, is that right?
UCLA.
And then Texas goes in and lays an egg against the Florida Gators. So does that save Billy Napier's job, do you think?
For the moment, it does. I can't guarantee he will still be around after the season is over, but he certainly is by himself some time. We may be in a situation quite like last year where it felt like the writing was on the wall for Billy Napier, and then, wouldn't you know it, they didn't actually fire him, and they ended up still playing for their coach and winning a few football games. So, who knows, maybe that happens again this year. But that Penn State loss, inexcusable. Just absolutely inexcusable. They go to Pasadena facing an 0-4 team that has its whole staff just gone, basically. Head coach got fired, OC's gone, DC's gone. Their play caller, Jerry Neuheisel, new play caller, was a position coach. I can't remember off the top of my head which position he was a coach of, but he got elevated to play caller duties. He admitted post-game that he was not fully sure how the headset worked. Like, there were times he had his mic up because he's not used to calling in the plays, hitting the wrong button on the headset. Like, you can't. Like, if you're Penn State, like, that's just a horrible referendum. Like, you lose to Oregon, okay, whatever. That was a game you needed to get, but you didn't get, but ultimately, okay. It's still Oregon. They're still a really good football team, whatever. This was your opportunity to bounce back and get right.
No excuses.
You let Nico have the game of his college career.
Yeah.
Which
I'm still not sold on Nico, but that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, running the ball was his big thing that game. Like, he ran for 3 touchdowns, was their leading rusher with like 120 yards. Threw it okay, too, but, yeah, you just can't have that if you're Penn State. You just can't, and the polls now reflect that.
Well, they should. So, this is one of the teams that are supposed to have been playing for the big boys for the top spot. Penn State and Texas both falling out of the top 25. Here's your top 10 this week. Ohio State, Miami, they love Miami. The pollsters are all about Miami, so I'm not sure if they're worthy. I guess they are. They played.
That was an impressive win they got Saturday, so I'm okay with it.
It's a beatdown of the Seminoles, no question. Third ranked is Oregon. Number 4 is Ole Miss. 5th is Texas A&M. Then comes Oklahoma, Indiana, Alabama, Texas Tech, and Georgia. You okay with that top 10?
Yeah, I think that's fine with how everything's fallen right now. So
Tennessee's up to number 12 this week. They'll take on Arkansas on Saturday. New coach, probably new shot of morale down in Arkansas. Will it make any difference in Knoxville on Saturday?
It could. It very well could. I could see it. It's the Bobby Trino's overhauled that entire defensive staff. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to expect from the Hogs defensively. But, they've got a talented quarterback. They've got, still a decent bit of talent there. So, I definitely could see them playing well Saturday. Now, Neyland, I think, is going to be rocking. It's going to be the first game back in a couple weeks after a bye week and a road game. So, I still think Tennessee at this point in the week, I think they're opened as like a 13.5-point favorite per Vegas. So, a favorite and rightfully so. But ultimately, I do think Arkansas will compete at least for, a half.
We're live here at Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Hello to Big Daddy Dale Hammond. How you doing, sir? Reba Whitehead, thank you. Thank you guys for watching and everybody else. We had a great run over the weekend. We had a lot of folks watching at, 13, went back in 13 states watching the game on Friday night. Cyclones beating Granger. Sean will be here in a few minutes to talk about the game. And the off week, and in the second half of the season, well, not really the second half, but the stretch run, if you will, 3 more games left. 2 out of the 3 will be at home at our place. This week we're off, and then we've got home games against Easton and Seymour for senior night. Then we'll wrap things up in Greenville to end the regular season. At this point, playing for the, as it is most of the time, the regional championship. But that remains to be seen. But as of right now, that's what it is. But things can change. Number 11, LSU. Number 12, Tennessee. 13, Georgia Tech. 14, Missouri. Number 15 this week is Michigan. Then comes Notre Dame, Illinois, BYU, and Vanderbilt, the top 20. Number 21 is Arizona State, Iowa State 22, Memphis 23, South Florida 24, and the Seminoles of Florida State, number 25, and falling out of the polls, we said, are Penn State and the Texas Longhorns, which I'm sure ain't sitting well in Austin. In fact, I read over the weekend, all these people who know or think they know something, don't know anything, I don't guess. The fans, although they pay their money, they want to bench Arch Manning and start Ewers. You know what? At this point, he ain't getting it done, so, I like Arch Manning, but don't know anything about the boy. I think he's overrated, but I think at this point you would have to almost Sarkisian has to look at somebody else to try and jumpstart this football team. What do you think?
Maybe. I mean, Arch Manning has certainly not delivered to this point in the year. You expected more out of him. You expected more out of the Texas offense, and it's just not been there. So I don't know if I'd go as far as to benching Arch, but you got to find something. And, sometimes that's the easiest thing to point to is, just put the backup quarterback in there.
Yeah.
Man, not always that easy, not always that straightforward. It can be, but it's not always that. But, yeah, again, the way Texas has looked now, I've definitely seen some Texas fans start their apology tour to Quinn Ewers after last year, thinking, it was fine to have Arch all along, or fine to have Quinn all along. Now he's, graduated and gone. But, I've seen that start to surface now.
There you go. And that's what's going on. Top 25 college football tonight. Or not tonight, but this weekend. Number 1, Ohio State, and number 17, Illinois.
I think Ohio State gets that win. Their defense is very impressive. They are. I don't think Illinois has enough offense to really challenge the Ohio State defense much, so I think Ohio State goes up there and doesn't have much issue.
Number 18, Alabama plays, and number 14, Missouri at noon on Saturday. You got the Tigers and the Tide on the road.
Tricky spot for Alabama. Mm-hmm. Tricky spot indeed. Noon kick, 11 a.m. local. I think Alabama has enough talent to go in there and win, but Mizzou's rolling right now. Mizzou's necessarily not played the toughest of schedules to this point, but they've done what you're supposed to do against a not great schedule, and that's win football games, and they've done that. So I think Mizzou, that'll be one of the better games of the weekend in my opinion.
You got number 24 South Florida, North Texas, 25th ranked Florida State hosting Pittsburgh, 4th ranked Ole Miss hosting Washington State. Ole Miss, by the way, on top of the SEC leaderboard right now. Number 16, Notre Dame hosting NC State, Virginia Tech. The Hokies trying to find themselves. They're on the road at Georgia Tech, 13th ranked Yellow Jackets on Saturday. Yellow Jackets win?
I think so, yeah. I think VT's playing with a little bit of an edge, but I like Georgia Tech. I think Haynes King will be too much.
Oklahoma and Texas, the Red River rivalry. Of course, Texas unranked, so this is a chance for them to do a prove-me game. They've got Oklahoma number 6 in the country at 3:30 in the Cotton Bowl. Texas or Oklahoma?
I like Oklahoma. I believe the hope is that John Mateer, the quarterback for the Sooners, will be back for this game, and if he is, I really like Oklahoma. But either way, I think Oklahoma's defense will have more than enough even to stymie Texas and Arch Manning.
Number 7, Indiana. Number 3, Oregon. That's another top 25 game. You like the Hoosiers, the Ducks, and Oregon?
I like the Ducks here. I think home field advantage at Autzen is one of the more underrated environments in college football. And I think that will propel the Ducks here. I like Dante Moore, their quarterback. I think they'll be able to make enough plays on the outside against Indiana to get the win.
The pollsters love Indiana. I think they're overrated. I think you'll find that out again this weekend. I think Oregon's going to put a smack down. It's a pretty good football team, real good football team. They go into Penn State and do what they did against the Nittany Lions, although now that doesn't look so impressive after going out to laying an egg at UCLA, but here it is. It's week in, week out, college football. Texas A&M will host the Florida Gators. Again, can Billy Napier go out there and do what he did at home against Texas to beat the Aggies in College Station? I say no. You say?
I also say no. I don't think it'll happen. I think Marcel Reed is going to give the Florida defense fits, his ability to move outside the pocket, make things happen off schedule. I like the Aggies.
Georgia and Auburn. Interesting game. One of the oldest rivalries in all of college football down through the years. 10th ranked Georgia and Auburn at 7:30 on ABC. Something tells me Georgia's going to lay an egg in this football game, although I like the Bulldogs. But Auburn, this is a chance to prove themselves. They got robbed of that game against Oklahoma earlier in the season. So Georgia at Auburn, I'm picking Auburn to upset. What say you?
I think Georgia wins, but I can see where you're coming from. I do. I absolutely see where you're coming from. And I do think it'll be a really good game. Weird things happen in Jordan-Hare. Yeah. Weird things happen in that building, so I would not be that surprised at all to, come 11 o'clock Saturday night to see Auburn winning that football game.
And I don't care if he disagrees. Make a difference to me. But in this country, we've reached the point if we disagree, then we got to do crazy stuff sometimes. But it is what it is. I ask his opinion. I got it. It's okay. 15th ranked Michigan at Southern Cal. Wolverines or Trojans?
I like Michigan here. That's not going to be the easiest game. I think Lincoln Riley and that offense will be able to kind of gear up a little bit. Now, this Michigan defense is really good. I don't think they'll be able to have their way, but I think they'll be able to hit a couple plays to keep themselves in the game, but ultimately I think Michigan will be too much.
We're talking top 25 football. Got a couple more games. 9th ranked Texas Tech hosting Kansas. Should be the Red Raiders. 11th ranked LSU hosting South Carolina. What about that one? That's going to be in Baton Rouge.
I like LSU here. South Carolina has been a little bit of a disappointment to me to start the year. They were preseason ranked high, had that struggle against Virginia Tech, dropped an egg at home against Vanderbilt, who turns out Vanderbilt's a good football team, but still, I was hoping I'd see more of the South Carolina receivers. I knew what I'd get out of Lenore Sellers, but I was hoping that the receivers would be able to make a few plays for him, and they haven't really. They've struggled to get separation on DBs, so I like LSU at home at night.
18th ranked BYU at Arizona, 21st ranked Arizona State at Utah wraps up the top 25 schedule. Julie says, my buddy Julie, who is a Michigan fan to the nth degree, says go blue. I think Michigan will roll at Southern Cal at 7:30. So we'll see what happens. That's what I'm predicting anyway. So hey, we're live here at Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton on this gorgeous Monday. So we look at baseball today. We've got the Dodgers and the Phillies. Blake Snell against Jesus Luzardo for the Phillies, and then the Cubs in Milwaukee. Umaga will go for the Cubs, and Aaron Ashby will go for the Milwaukee Brewers. How do you like those series so far? All four divisional series have been a lot of fun. In the NL side specifically, got game 2 tonight. I think Philly's going to bounce back. It'll be tough. Blake Snell is one tough hombre to deal with on the mound, but I do like the Phillies at home to even that series heading to LA. I just think that they're the big boppers there will be able to do enough. I think Schwarber will get one tonight. I think Harper will come up clutch. So I like Philly there. And I like the Brewers to take a 2-0 lead up to Wrigley. This is a very good Milwaukee team. Obviously, they got the division title. They got a first-round bye, so they've earned that. But, I don't know how many people nationally understand quite how good this Milwaukee team is. It's not all the superstars and all of this and all of that, but that they can play some ball, and I like them tonight against the Cubbies. I don't think the Phillies want to go back to L.A. for the next 2, down 2-0. So this is a must-win, I think, with the Phillies tonight. With Luzardo on the mound, the place in Philadelphia will be going nuts, of course. It always is. That's a rabid baseball in sports town. So you would see the Philly fanatics and all the Philly fans going wild tonight with the Dodgers have proven. They went into silence them the other day. So the Dodgers, they go back to L.A. 2-0 for the games 3 and 4.
That's wraps.
It's going to be tough. Going to be tough for the Phillies. All right, high school football, it's a big open week. A lot of teams are off this week. Elizabethton's off. Greenville's off. You've got a couple of games here. Well, about 4 or 5 we'll take a look at. Volunteer at Chucky Doak. It's a non-conference game, but the Falcons and the Black Knights, what do you like in that game? Or who do you like in that game?
Yeah, Volunteer really did a lot of good things through the air last week against Northview Academy. Their quarterback, Lincoln Wilson, threw for over 400 yards. I think he had 5 total touchdowns in that game as well. So give me Volunteer on the road. They've been very impressive this season. especially given what their recent history has been.
Sean joins us coming up top of the hour. Sean Wood, we're talking about, head coach of the Cyclones. Happy Valley Cumberland Gap. The Happy Valley Warriors put one on Hancock County for homecoming.
They did, and that was, that was a big-time performance from them, and I expect them to keep it rolling. Their first conference game of the year. Now, remember, 2A is just a 4-team conference, so there's a reason they've not played one to this point. I like them to roll at Cumberland Gap.
Cloudland hosting Sunbright. Dobbins met it on Thursday night playing Claiborne, a 3A team that's 0-6. So they opted not to play the Cyclones this year. So they picked up Claiborne, who's 0-6 in 3A football on a Thursday night. Obviously, DB at 6A and having a really good year. First place in the conference, beating Jeff County the other night. I would think they're going to steamroll Claiborne on.
I would think so as well.
I'm thinking RC on that one, running clock. Daniel Boone will be at Jefferson County. Tough assignment for the Trailblazers. Who?
Yeah, it's a Jefferson County team that had that big win 2 weeks ago at home against Science Hill, rather. Now looking to bounce back after that loss to DB, and I think the Patriots will get it done back down there in Dandridge.
Johnson County hosting Pigeon Forge. Long haul for Pigeon Forge on a school bus from Pigeon Forge to Mountain City. Johnson County or Pigeon Forge?
I like Johnson County here. Pigeon Forge has had their struggles this year. Johnson County has as well, but you look, Johnson County's 2-0 in their conference, so they're certainly still very much live in both the postseason and conference championship picture. So I like Johnson County at home. That's a tough bus ride.
Stone Castle, Tennessee High hosting Morristown West. Vikings putting together a nice string right now. They're playing some good football.
They are. They've won 4 in a row.
For Coach Holt. I don't see it stopping. I think they'll get 5 in a row for the Vikings at the Stone Castle on Friday night. Unicoi County hosting Granger. That could be an interesting game, although I like Colby Jones and Unicoi County. They got a good football team.
They do. That is a really good football team there. I like Unicoi here, and I like them big.
Unaka plays Jellicoe up Stony Creek, and the Rangers get a W.
I don't see it. This is a Jellicoe team that against the middle part of Region 1A has been very competitive. They've took Cloudland to overtime. They beat Sunbright. This is just a tough fighting uphill for Unaka. I like Jellicoe.
Hello to Jeremy McDuffie. Thank you, sir, for watching the show. We're live here at Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton on this Monday. Axel's going to join us coming up here in a minute. Axel Steins. Shines. He'll be with us here in just a second because he's going to be talking about the Cyclone Walk week after next. So, plus they're out of school this week at fall break, so a lot of teams are off. And it's probably coming. I know it's coming at a good time for Elizabethton because they are the walking wounded to a point. So they're going to try and get healed up with a week off and get ready for Easton Seymour and then Greenville. We have volleyball tonight. What's going on in the volleyball world? It's tournament time.
It is indeed tournament time. In AAA, they have made it to the double elimination portion of the bracket. Top seeded Science Hill will take on the host school Westridge. That'll be at 5 o'clock tonight. Westridge swept Crockett to win their playing game. And then at 7 o'clock, the 2 seed Dobbins Bennett got a bye. They'll be facing a Tennessee High team that swept Daniel Boone to get out of the play-in. So they're playing tonight 5 and 7. Then tomorrow they'll go winners and losers, double elimination format. Play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday will be championship Thursday there. And then into Double A, they'll be at Sullivan East. They'll start the play-ins tonight. 4-seed Sullivan East against 5-seed Unicoi County at 5:30. And then the winner of that one will get Greenville. And then Elizabethton, the 3-seed, taking on the 6-seed Johnson County at 7. Loser eliminated winner goes on to face Chucky Doak. And then
on Tuesday.
That'll be on Tuesday with a triple header. They'll play both the technical first round games and then the first elimination game after the play-ins as well to end Tuesday night, pardon me.
Hello, Kenny Jenkins. A little bit confusing, but anyway, they play tonight.
It's a little bit easier to see if it's in a bracket format.
You got it. So you've got 2 games tonight at East. You've got Elizabethton and Johnson County. The first game is East and Unicoi County. So the winners will move on to play tomorrow. The losers are eliminated, and the double elimination is ongoing at Westridge in the in the big boy,
In
in
the
this
Big
case,
East, yep.
big girl tournament, the Big East tournament. All right, the final thing, our lunch bet. All of us we're tied now. The Raiders are absolutely pitiful. 40-6. Geno Smith leads NFL 9 interceptions. You got to bench the guy. Kenny Pickett, they traded for a 5th-round draft pick to get this guy. You got to put him in there. Anyway, they've got the Titans, your team, who beat Arizona. So for the lunch bet, if you missed it, I said I got real cocky after we beat New England and said, well, I'll just bet you. And so I'm still betting. I'll stand by my word. So the one that has the most wins between his Titans and my Raiders will get a free lunch from the other guy. So right now it's tied. We're both 1-4, and they play each other this Sunday in Vegas. So terrible football team.
It was a wild game yesterday for the Titans. They were down 21-6 with about 12 minutes to go. Arizona breaks off a big run. Looks like it's a touchdown. They fumble it out. The dude drops it. Just drops it before he crosses the goal line. Goes through the end zone. Touchback.
Moron.
Sparks a Titans comeback. They win 22-21. Yeah, the
Moron.
Cardinals kind of handed that game to the Titans on a silver platter. But I will say this. The Broncos tried to hand the Week 1 game to the Titans on a silver platter, and the Titans wouldn't take it.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, they finally took a win. Somebody was trying to gift them a win, and they finally said, you know what? We'll take that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So Cam Ward had a really good fourth quarter, which was very encouraging to see. And, yeah, I'm not sure how I still feel long-term about this season, but, hey, they're not going 0-17, and that's a great place to be.
And right now they're tied with the Raiders.
And
for
the
our lunch bet.
Ravens even. The Ravens are 1-4 too,
yeah.
which is a weird place
It
to
is a weird place
see.
to be, yeah. But anyway, so see you next week.
Yes, sir. Sounds like a plan.
Thank you, sir, very much. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Axel Stein's next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Also, Coach Whitten will be here in a little while. And then also Gary Rowe talking SEC football. So we've got lots to talk about between now and the end of the show. We're live here at Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Tom Taylor Sports Show got a brand new product. Tell me what's going on.
We sure do. We have contactless Visa debit cards, and some of you all have been asking and wanting to know, when are you going to implement that? We are hitting the ground running. So right now you can get your free instant issue contactless debit cards at Northeast Community Credit Union, and that's just another form of payment. So you've got the mag strip on the back, you've got your contactless, invisible, what you want to call it, if you want to pay that way for tabless, or you've got your chip. So we're just staying up to date with all the things, and we listened to you. So you wanted that, and that's what we can provide. And we've implemented it with hard work, behind the scenes, a lot of teamwork, effort, and come get your contactless Visa debit card today.
Available now
Yes,
at all locations. Our locations are
they are in Roan Mountain, they are in Elizabethton, one in behind Elizabethton High School, our main office, and then we have one off of 19E in Elizabethton. We have one in Johnson City off of West Oakland Avenue.
social media. How do we find you?
You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, or bemycu.org.
And the magic main number is
423-547-1200.
brand new product from Northeast Community Credit Union, proud sponsor of the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Cyclone Sports. Guess who's here?
Axel Stein shines.
Shines. You got it. How you doing, bub?
I'm doing good on this Monday, October the 6th.
Show number?
2372, 28 shows left until 2400, folks.
That's it. That's awesome. You having a good school year so far?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far, so good. I'm officially on fall break now. Cyclone football is on an off week this
Right.
week.
Tell us when we play again.
October 17th against Sullivan East at Citizens Bank Stadium.
Guess what we're going to have before the game?
A Cyclone walk. Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Folks out there go, what's the Cyclone Walk? Tell them what it is.
You've already seen it 2 times this year, folks, against Westridge and Northview. So, it's where they come out of the locker room. I always get them pepped up, and so do the cheerleaders, of course. And, of course, me and Carrie are out there recording it live for the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page.
Mm-hmm. It's awesome. And so they come by and he gives them high fives as they go into the stadium to get warmed up, right?
Yeah.
Now, folks, can they see your shirt? I don't think they can see your shirt. Stand up for just a second. There's his shirt that his mom made for us. I got one. He's got one. That's me. That's him. It says Axel's Summer Tour.
Yeah.
EHS Live, Tom Taylor Sports Show, Facebook, YouTube symbols. And so there we are. So he's got his shirt.
There was 29 shows this summer, of course.
Yeah.
And one of the stops was, of course, right here at Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton most times. We were here on a Monday before, and we were here on a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I went to Chick-fil-A in Johnson City one time, right before when school started, of course. It was August the 6th, I was there at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City, and Tom was like, got him into Johnson City.
There you go. He came, was on the show, and so he's here today. So this is show number 2372. Yeah. So now you had your lunch, right? What'd you have?
12 nuggets, a large fry, and a large sweet tea, and another large fry.
12 nuggets, 2 fries, and a large sweet tea.
Yep.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Yep. Did you watch the game Friday night?
Yep. 49-6, the final at Granger. Oh, boy.
Cyclones were doing good, weren't they?
Yeah. Ooh, doggies.
Ooh, doggies.
They're now 6-1 for the year, folks. 6-1. Only loss was, of course, Science Hill.
Mm-hmm. So we won 6 in a row. Bryson Blevins, 3 touchdown passes. Doing great. So we'll be talking to Coach Whitten about that in a moment. But, yep, it's we have an off week.
176 for Sean.
Mm-hmm. 176. So what are you going to do this week on fall break?
I was planning on going to see you, of course, right here today, and I'm also going to be here on Wednesday as well at Chick-fil-A in Johnson
Are you
City.
coming there too?
Yeah.
Awesome. So what else you got planned this week? Just hang out?
Yeah, just relax, just get a little rest in, get to catch some Z's in a little bit. Good night.
Good night. He's going to catch some Z's, gets to sleep in. So did you sleep in this morning?
Yep.
Good for you. Fall break. So your dad's here, your mama's here, so that's good. The whole crew's here today. So
Yeah, the Steins family.
the Steins family, that's it. That's it. The Steins family is here. Are you doing any dogs today? Are you? She's doing a little.
She gets back to work at 1 o'clock, and there's Sean Winnan over there, folks. How you doing, buddy?
Oh boy. Yep. Axel Steins
Shines.
So not this week, but the Cyclone walked 2 straight weeks.
Yeah, Sullivan East and Seymour.
Seymour's on.
The 24th.
Yep.
And then the final game of the regular season, of course, on a Thursday instead of a Friday this year at Greenville.
Oh boy. Can't wait to go down there.
Yeah.
Play with Green Devils.
And then we go to the playoffs.
Yep. And we'll be at home. We'll be at home for a playoff game.
Yeah,
We'll
start
predict
postseason play.
Mm-hmm. Are you excited about that too?
Yeah.
Get to do a Cyclone walk.
Gotta love a postseason play right now.
Gotta love postseason. And if it gets cold, you'll have your Cyclone Network jacket on, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like when it's winter time, obviously.
Yep. We love his weather now, though. Axel Steins shines. Man, I'm glad you came. You had 12 nuggets, 2 large fries, and a sweet tea.
Yep.
He's a growing boy, I'm telling you. So it's good stuff. Well, thank you for coming. I'll see you Wednesday at Chick-fil-A in Johnson. You coming over there, too?
Yes.
Awesome. Be good. All right. We'll take a quick break. He's here. Coach Whitten's going to brag on the boys. He loves bragging on his kids. He'll do that next on the Tom Taylor Sports. Brumman Sports Shop in downtown Elizabethton with your favorite school's T-shirts, polos, or hoodies. They can put your school, church, or company's logo on lots of different styles of hats, including Nike and Richardson and now Travis Matthew. Windbreakers, sublimated shirts, pullovers, koozies. They can order for any area school and your favorite team. Dry fit sleeveless hoodies, Nike dry fit t-shirts, women's and toddler sizes. You can order any uniform for any sport, including the pants or shorts from Brumman Sports Shop. And they always have a clearance rack to save you money. Plaques, trophies, medals, and ribbons, and all the engraving is done in-house. And they offer hard-to-find Letterman jackets of your favorite school for guys, ladies, and now elementary and middle school athletes too. and they offer all the different sports patches as well. Brumman Sports Shop, downtown Elizabethton, Facebook, Instagram, website, BrummanSportsShop.com, phone 542-2321, Brumman Sports Shop in downtown Elizabethton.
In a world where clutter, trash, and debris threaten your property, one man is ready to save the day. He's Container Man, your dumpster delivery superhero. Need to clear out your garage? Call Container Man. Remodeling your home? Call Container Man. Demolition waste taking over your job site? Call Container Man. From minor to major projects, Container Man has the perfect size dumpster for every task. With lightning fast delivery and the customer service of a locally owned company, he will help you restore order to your world. When you're ready to fight clutter, trash, and debris, call Container Man.
Hey, it's your girl Mayani. A little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A Cobb salad is the chicken. Literally, the nuggets, they smack. When you put those nuggets in the salad, it just brings the salad to life. I'll give it a 10 out of 10.
Hi, I'm Jasmine. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A market salad is that the chicken is super juicy and the apples can be a little tangy, also a little sweet as well. So there's just a ton of different flavors. It's just so good.
And back on the Tom Baylor Sports Show, show number 2372, we're joined by the obvious. You see him, head coach Sean Witten. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Doing great, thank you.
Great to be a Cyclone, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is. It's really good to be a Cyclone. Always.
Great. Always. You got it. What you used to say, you always say that Cyclones never graduate. What's your little phrase?
Tradition never graduates.
That's
yep.
it. Tradition never graduates.
Yep.
There you go. Great win Friday night. Great setting. I want to say thanks to their athletic director, B.J. Jarvis, who, everywhere we go, we are the Taliban. So I always walk up to the gate and say, we're the communists, and they start laughing because we're the enemy.
Yeah.
And so, and the same thing down at, and I got to give him props, Jeremy Simmerly, who's a class of 97, the athletic director at Greenville Middle, went down there for the ball games Thursday, for the Cyclones, T.A. Duggar, varsity and junior varsity. We'll talk about that in a moment, but thank you to Jeremy. Went out of his way, red carpet. So I know we don't like Greenville. I know they don't like us. We have a lot of respect for them. They have a lot of respect for us. But as far as being treated right, we get the red carpet every time we go down there.
Yeah, those had great games on Thursday, Greenville. Both games.
Good peeps. So I know we want to beat them. They want to beat us, and I get that. But I'm just saying from a broadcaster and just being treated right, they always treat us right down in Greenville, and we expect no different this year, and we got treated very nicely at Granger on Friday night. Beautiful place, great drive down, beautiful stadium. Cyclones got on early. William McDuffie got that touchdown run to get it going, and then you come back with Bryson Blevins. What a night for Blevins.
Yeah, that's a great first game opponent, and made it up there to get Stacy and Tony on WBJ, and didn't make it up there in time for you. Obviously. Bittersweet moment for us, playing without Rhett there. And then, we want to wish him a speedy recovery. Wasn't the same not having 8 underneath the center.
Exactly.
30 consecutive games, passed over 2,500 yards, multiple touchdowns. This time point in the season, he passed over 1,000 yards against Northview and only has had 1 interception, going into, week 6 of the season. But, Bryson Blevins had a great game. He did a really good job of, getting his weapons involved, and we used multiple running backs, and it was a really good game to get his feet underneath him and really try to see it for the first time live as a varsity quarterback, and did a really good job of making the simple plays and making things look easy.
Had a 23-yard pass to Justice to get it going. You put him out there on a tight end, and so kind of. You wanted to, which makes perfect sense because Rhett's gone, and we hate that, and so we miss the fella. He'll be back for baseball, but you put him in a position to build his confidence the way he set up the
Yeah,
positions.
we did that the same with Justice is a jack of all trades. I mean, he can do a lot of great things. Running back, receiver. We've done a lot of those things. A year ago against Northview, he caught 7 or 8 passes there when Rhett went 21 for 21. But he's such a quarterback-friendly weapon there. He's got great hands and underneath. And so when we started the season this year, Justice had 2 touchdown catches against Science Hill. So that was a thing that we wanted to do. We operated out of a bunch formation. Got Justice back at tight end and was able to get some boot and waggle throws, some easy throws, some play action tight end drag, tight end slip plays. So, we wanted to get that inserted. We felt that could be a great way to get Bryson calmed down and into the game and easy throws at a tight end. So we had some tight end plays. We call them Gronk, Kelsey, and then obviously we call it a Dallas play, was a Jason Witten boot and waggle play. Kelsey play was a tight end down the middle. Then a Gronk play was, what Tom Brady used to hit Gronk across the middle. So, we try to disguise those and get him involved. But, credit Justice. When you move a guy there, he's such an unselfish football player, and it makes it easy to really get involved. And we appreciate him, doing that. And McDuffie continues to run hard. Man, he runs hard. Doing a great job of seeing it right now and believing in it. And, he's really maximized and made the most of his opportunities.
Yeah, he's not that big, but I'll tell you what, pound per pound, he will punish you. He just runs downhill, and he just comes like a
he does. He's waited his turn. He's played a receiver, strong safety. He's worked at some H-back. He's done a really good job of finding a groove and staying hot for us.
Each one of our running backs, we talk about this every broadcast, either RV or Eddie Pless, but each one of our running backs is a different running personality, if you will. They're just different runners, and so I would think the other teams, it's tough to scout us because you get 3 or 4 different kinds of running styles.
Yeah, and then we if the more that we can mix up, we've had to use a lot of motions and a lot of movement a little bit to kind of help our offense some, and then we try to insert some different ways to us to try to get some easy pass plays, but. We've tried to, the more that we can move the ball around, the more they got to say, okay, Justin's tight end, Justin's H-back, Justin's number 3 receiver, moving some guys around. And then you're right. CJ's a tough runner. Legend's big and long and strong inside. Duffy's, even though he's not very big, he's more of an inside runner. And then, what Justice can bring when he gets back there as well. So, just really proud of all those guys to, what makes a great team is when you got a strong supporting cast that really helps the quarterback out.
That's the first quarter score, 14-0. 2 more scores before the break. We got a 26-yard pass again from Bryson to Justice Wallen. Then we got the McDuffie 30-yard run. We're up 28-0. They get a touchdown with a down the field to put 6 on the board. In the second half, CJ, great play, wide slap up on the far sideline to set that play up for us.
Well, we worked really hard to get our special teams back going. And Braylon Britt's second consecutive week got us great field position. And then the same thing. We wanted to continue to get our running backs involved in the pass game. We worked that solo receiver on the backside a lot. Tennessee High, he caught a many pass plays there. Westridge, we caught many pass plays. And so we took that solo receiver right down the middle of the field. We did a little fake like we're running it, a little bootleg, throw it back to the receiver right there. And so what's great about that is we only, for a right-handed quarterback, we only practiced it going left. But in that situation right there with, 35 seconds left on the clock, we ran it to the right. So it was great execution on that play, and it was a great cutback by CJ finding the end zone.
Yep, 39-yard pass play for a touchdown, up 35-6. Zach gets a punt return. Crazy play, kind of bobbled it, bounced right up in his hands, and set sail. Great blocking downfield for the touchdown.
We kind of finally caught a break there, Tom. Just kind of bounced right up for him, but we knew that they kind of kept their offense on the field. We wanted to get a special teams touchdown, and we wanted to try to field those punts all night long. I think that's another opportunity for us when you're playing a freshman quarterback or a new guy in there. You create turnovers, find a way to score on defense, score on special teams, and set up some easy scores. That's what we did a little bit right there with some great field position.
Last touchdown was his first touchdown. Legend paid 10-yard run, first varsity touchdown, be first of many. And so the final score, 49-6. Bowers gets point afters. It's almost automatic now. Then also that and the touchbacks. We talk about this every week, but people, if you don't know football, you got to realize how important these touchbacks are, because every time it's automatic, the team never gets a chance to run it back.
No, they don't. They don't get a chance to run it back. Field position becomes critical, and then you got to put several play drive in order to go 80 yards in the distance. And, man, that's just a tough weapon to continue when you can score some points. To continue to have to do that over and over on multiple possessions becomes really tough.
Off week this week, but people have asked me over the weekend at church, so they get time off. So I don't know what your schedule is, but we're off this week. We got a bye week. And then 2 of the last 3 at our place. We got East next week, or in 2 weeks, and then Seymour for senior night. Then we go to Greenville on the 30th. So the kids get some downtime, or you still
They will later in the week. With the way that our season's gone, Tom, the way that we've had multiple injuries, we've had some guys that have out for the remainder of the year. We've had some guys in and out of the lineup. And what's been tough for us is, when the guys have been in and out of the lineup, they've missed practice time. And so continuity and consistency and taking advantage of the fall break where, the last several years we've maximized this time to gain some ground.
Mm-hmm.
And when you got guys like Nolan Loveday been out of the lineup, we hopefully get Jay Bird back. We missed Kyler McGovern the other night, Riley Jones the other night. Just continuity and consistency is the key. So we practiced in 3 days. We got a JV game tonight against Tennessee High at 6 o'clock. So, we wanted to make, still get the JV games in to get those young guys the reps, and then we'll get the rest of the week off later in the week. So, if we were completely healthy and had our starting lineup, I would have no problem with it.
I understand.
Because we've been at it for a long time. But when you've got guys in and out of lineup, and especially the offensive line and consistency right there, and then when you've played 2 option football teams, you've had to do things different defensively.
Mm-hmm.
So getting back to our normal scheme and our base defense and our coverage responsibility, continue to put guys in situations so they understand. You can really take advantage of the morning practices, and we try to feed those guys today with some wings after practice, and really try to keep this thing going. So when you get this time of the season, Tom, it's a short season. There's not many opportunities left, and we all know 4A is a gauntlet anyway. Round 1, round 2, quarterfinals, semifinals. If you're fortunate enough to survive and advance, the games become difficult, and we all know that Region 2 is loaded. First round playoff game at home is not going to be a typical easy football game like it's been sometimes in the past. So there's a lot of great games. Gibbs upset AC on Thursday night. Puts a wrinkle in there. Carter, we played Carter 3 years in a row there for a first round game at home. They're a senior football team that's back, and then you've got 2 new teams in that region there, Maryville Heritage, and then you've also got Alcoa. So there's a lot to still left to play for, and our guys understand that. And man, we had a dandy of a practice this morning. So really just proud of the work these guys understand, and try to slow things down and see if there's a way for us to kind of get better. And our guys did that this morning.
It gets tougher every week. RB and I picked them on Friday night, the players of the game. In fact, we picked 4. We were only supposed to pick 3, but we went 4 because we leave guys off. William McDuffie, probably a player of the game. Justice Wallen, probably player of the game. We can't give everybody a award. Certainly Bryson Blevins, first varsity star as a freshman, 3 touchdown passes, running our offense, player of the game. We went with Calix Daughtry, 92, heck of a game, defensive end, all over the place. We went with Lennox Loveday, one of the Hogs up front, all over the place. And it's a piecemeal, he said. We're banged up. It's a piecemeal offensive, defensive line. And, of course, these guys are regulars. And then, of course, Legend got his first varsity touchdowns. We're going to give him some free food, too. So it gets tougher every week, which is a compliment to our program. They've got so many guys contributing. So, what I'm going to ask you at this point in the season, we've won 6 in a row. Grade your football team, A, B, C, or D right now. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I think, there's always room for improvement where right now we're probably at a B. And then you got to love that, we're a couple plays away from being undefeated.
Absolutely.
And then, spotted Science Hill 14 points, crawled ourselves back into it, missed a lot of tackles, But I think we have the same thing that they have now is when we went in that game, we had to stop 3 running backs. And then you got a really good quarterback, and then they had multiple tight ends, multiple H-backs, and that's where we are right now. When you talk about that, too, we went into Granger football game Riley Jones was out. Calix Doherty was our defensive end. So, how do you take he's got to play every snap of defense. That's one of the reasons why we moved Justice to tight end. Then you got Legend at the H-back position. And then on top of that, with Jay-Bird out, Justice is our Mike backer. CJ's playing every snap of will linebacker. Becomes tough, especially when you're in there trying to stop the run against some wing T. So, keeping guys fresh, getting them an opportunities to play there. And then I think always, the things that we try to do to keep it simple, really becomes into play. But, to execute the offense the way we did Friday night was pretty cool. We wanted to try to change the tempos and play a little bit of faster tempo. We knew that Granger was going to kind of run the clock there and huddle and take as much time. So, we didn't get an offensive possession there because Zach ran the punt return back in the third quarter. I'm sitting over there, man, like we got to get some stops. I got a freshman quarterback, needs some snaps. But, it's really cool to see us progress and do whatever the team needs. Calix Doherty has been a great tight end, a blocking tight end for us, but he really stepped up his game at the defensive end, when he was our starting defensive end there with Riley out. So, we wanted to keep guys fresh. And then, obviously, Calix is flipping sides, strong side, weak side there. And then it's always good to get some tight end plays in there. So, we try to get some play action and some screens and mix things up. We operated out of a bunch set a lot of the times to kind of keep us in one formation, ability to throw it fast and make some plays and pick that tempo up. But, man, we really needed that game, one, to get some extra guys in the game, and two, our main starters needed an opportunity to get out of the game, to recover a little bit, to not have to be in there in the fourth quarter. And then what's good for us to see too, Tom, is physically – we know the toll it takes on your body and what you need to, but mentally to be able to execute at a high level, that's what we did Friday night against Granger.
Plus, you got your quarterback some confidence. Again, 3 touchdowns, and that's good. 49-6 is the final. Let's go back to Thursday. I want to brag on our JV and our varsity T. Duggar football team. 24-0. Greenville JVs run the table. They go undefeated. Our players were Elijah Odom, Jackson Richardson Holt, and Tyson Price. 24-0. We finished 8-0. Of course, Ryder had an interception, had the 2-point conversion throw to Will Lewis. Also 2-point conversion to Tyson Price. So our kids, that's pretty impressive.
It's been an impressive year for those guys. One, they've not had cream puff schedule either. They've had to fight back and play some tough games, and then the varsity had 2 big games against Indian Trail and Liberty Bell, where Carson Lyons catches a wheel route out of the backfield to beat Indian Trail over at Science Hill in the last possession of the game. And then at Liberty Bell at home, basically we were down all the way till like 30 seconds left in the game and end up scoring. But what I noticed about the game Thursday night was the guys that you mentioned all year long are the guys that stepped up and made the plays. When you play in those big football games, that's when your stars got to come out and play, and that's what I noticed on Thursday night. Our stars stepped up, and I thought, in the varsity game, what helped us is our 1-2 punch at running back allowed us, how much you got to fight on defense to stop them. It allowed Carson and allowed 26 Tyson to get a break and to make sure when they were able to come in, they were fresh and ready to go.
Let's go back to that game. Carson Lyons 3-yard run. Tyson Hill 2-point conversion. They scored first. They got a kid. You remember this kid's name? Reminds me of I forget his name. You tell me this every week. The kid that was such a thorn on our side for Greenville. Went to Georgetown.
Yeah, Gudger.
Gudger, thank you. Justin Fizel. Remember this kid's name? He can play for Greenville. Lions, so he gets the first touchdown is what my point is. Then we come back and tie it up 8-8 with the Lions run and the Elliott 2-point conversion. They get another touchdown on a 39-yard pass. Then Creed runs it in from 5 yards out, has a 2-point conversion to Litton. Then you've got Carson Lyons, a 25-yard run, 2-point conversion failed. Then you have a guy, this was a sneaky snake play. I love this. Ryder Witten, they line him up.
Yeah.
He comes down the line and gets the handoff and scoots in behind the Hogs and scores. That's pretty cool.
It was cool. The coaches at Tidder do a great job of executing game plan. And, what you notice in those games, Tom, is one, in all those games, what I really love is even in the varsity games on Friday night, JV games on Monday night, but when you face adversity, it's all about how you respond, and that's what happened in those games. You know, opening kickoff, we fumble it. They get the ball, go right down the field, score on the next play. We got to answer and go down. But what's great about those games is you notice Greenville, they can line up and run a lot of base plays. For us, we can't do that. It's multiple formations. It's using every player. It's using quarterback runs. It's using receivers to get plays. Ryder comes down through there and runs a quarterback sneak. They come around on a 2-point conversion after a hold and have to throw a double pass. And then I thought that, anytime on offense you got your quarterback play where they don't turn the ball over. You know, I thought Creed ran really hard and played really well. And then, credit the trenches because it was really tough on both of those games. In the trenches, the team that wins the trenches is going to have an opportunity to win. We ran the ball, they ran the ball. Those are some tough players to stop. And then, it really is a tale of two halves because in the second half, I thought they went backwards. We went forward. We really stopped them. And I thought Axel Matherly really stepped up at linebacker and had a great game. Creed did a great job. And then I thought Tyson Elliott, man, did he have a matchup on defense? He had a take on that tight end that they had and won. It really looked like he was a Friday night player and set that edge and hammered down. That's what it really means to be in the orange and black because it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. And, man, we had some dogs out there on Thursday night. It was really cool to see. So that's really what it's all about. And, it's a blue-collar program that we are, both teams, and you got to battle even when there's a big size difference and even when it can get lopsided. But you mentioned it, the really great running back they had. We had to stop them there. He got off to a great stop early, and then it's always a tough environment to play down in Burley Stadium.
You picked all three guys and didn't even know that. Carson Lyons, Creed Baker, and Axel Madley was our players of the game. So I got to ask you this question. When London played basketball, I'm the broadcaster, but I'm also the granddad.
Yeah.
So it's kind of running both sides. So when you're watching Ryder play, do you watch him as a dad or do you watch him as a coach?
Well, it's hard not to watch him as a coach. I mean, you can sit up there and see the execution and the things he's got to do. But, I think, you're always cheering him on as a dad. I mean, but as being a football coach, the way that I see a game is probably not the way most people see a game. You're kind of focused on the small intangible things you got to do. You got to flat stem inside block. I thought, obviously you're cheering them on. There ain't no doubt about that. But being a coach, it's all about the greater good for the football team. And I thought, you got to step up and make those plays and execute. And I thought he did a great job when his number was called and how to make those plays. He got beat on a deep ball there right before in the second quarter. They kind of threw it up, and the guy kind of out-jumped him and made a play. But, I think that, those guys do a great job of coaching them up and hanging in there. And I think that, there's always teachable moments in those games. And so it's really hard to kind of cheer it on as a dad because, you how much time and effort those guys put in playing those games. You have an opportunity to finish the season undefeated, especially as tough as our middle school schedule is. We had to really come through some fourth quarters of adversity and kind of win those games. So proud of those guys, man, the way that they've put in a lot of great work. Proud of our guys as well. People don't know, the average people don't know the work that goes in even from the middle school level. That's a representation of the hard work that goes in the summer and the off season. The days that stepping up and making plays, and then it's all about the total team. There's not one player that can step up and do it by itself. It's a lot of those guys, and you mentioned a lot of those eighth graders on there, but our middle school linemen this year were young. You're talking about Tristan Cole's a seventh grader. You're talking about there was a sixth grade offensive lineman out there that had to play, and then there's some other guys that kind of hessed up. Nate Gordby was another tight end that's out there, but there's a lot of guys out there that don't get a lot of credit. But I thought Drake played really well. I thought they pitched and catched it pretty good, and then our defense really did a great job of stopping them in the second half.
So the eighth grade class and the JV and varsity goes combined 16-0. Both ran the table, smallest school in the league, and we both won our conferences this year, which is awesome. The 8th grade class finishes 22-2 as a class. And then you look at, the fact we win the conference championships. And then you look, here's who's coming next year. I know he is excited to know that these kids are coming in to the program next year. Creed Baker, and we'll run down numerically. Creed Baker, Luke Vance, Jaden Johnson, Carson Lyons, Drake Litton, Baron Grindstaff, Tristan Cordell, Trey Haynes, Nolan Bowles, Tyson Elliott, Nate Pippin, Stephen Gorby, Jacob Hodge, Axel Matherly, Jaden Willis, Preston Estep, Brett Jones, Bentley Grindstaff, Michael Sheets, Carson Buckles, Matthew Triple, make sure I don't miss anybody, Raiden Metcalf, and you've got Evan Moreland and Braden Holt. You got some horses.
Yeah, looking forward to those guys.
Yeah.
Looking for those bodies, and those numbers matter, and then we keep this thing going. So exciting time to be a Cyclone football. We hope next year our schedule flips. So we got the opportunity to get 6 home games, but that's what you want to see. It's just they've had to earn it. Nothing's been given to them, and then the coaches work their tails off. And so that middle school league too, Bristol, two King Sports schools, they had a battle over there against Sevier this year, and 2 Johnson City schools. So credit to those guys working really hard. They had to earn it every time they step on the field, and then those guys practice hard, and they put a lot of time in the off season as well. So it means something for those guys to take the field and represent us and make us proud.
So the Varsity's won 6 in a row, ranked 7th in the state if the polls come out. JV's undefeated, playing tonight Tennessee High at 6 o'clock at the stadium. And then our 2 middle school teams finish undefeated. So pretty good. It's good to be a Cyclone.
Yes, sir. We're looking forward to it. Have a strong finish, and really proud of our guys, man. We've faced a lot of adversity this year. It's been a triumph season, especially when Friday night we had 5 seniors out. It's kind of crazy to think the amount of games and those guys played, but hopefully we'll get a couple of those guys back. And then obviously, just really proud of Red and, the things he's done for our football team and our program. And, he comes from a great family, and just, you tip your hat because it's tough, guys like Justin Whitehead and, but it's our job to keep moving on and, try to, keep battling and keep putting our best foot forward. And I appreciate our guys doing that for me.
See you next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Go Cyclones. Quick break. We'll be right back. Summer joins us next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Gary Rowan, just in a few minutes, he's going to talk SEC football. What happened to the Texas Longhorns? Summer will join us next on the Tom Taylor Sports.
This is Pastor Mark Fowler, Pleasant Beach Baptist Church here in Elizabethton, and we wanted to let you know about a couple of special events we have at the church in our fall season. And of course, fall is my favorite time of the year. I love the mountains and the color and the leaves. But we want to invite you to our annual homecoming. That's Sunday morning, October the 12th, and that is a Sunday school hour at 10 o'clock. We'll have combined Sunday school and a special group singing. That's the Andrew Johnson family from out in Texas, and they'll be with us also in the 11 o'clock hour and a Bible message. Then following special Sunday school hour and then that morning service, we have dinner on the grounds, and that's always a wonderful time. And then the following Saturday, October the 18th, is our annual fall festival, and that's from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock. And so we want to give you a personal invitation for you and your family, and we'd love to have you to either one of these days or any other day, and we'd love to see you soon.
Our success is your success.
Stanfield Thomas and Associates, Miss Autumn. So tell folks what STA is all about.
So at STA, we do business tax, individual tax, bookkeeping, and payroll. We specialize in QuickBooks. We do offer QuickBooks training, and we have a QuickBooks Pro Advisor, which is Crystal. She's the owner. She can help with the software, training, inventory cleanup, file setup, and payroll reports. We also do month end, which includes reconciling. So yeah, we do a lot.
Do what you do best. Let us do the rest. That's a great, great slogan. Phone number, how do we get a hold of you?
423-968-9112 or at statax.com.
Where do we find you on social media?
You can find us at Stanfield Thomas and Associates on Facebook.
There you go. One of our great sponsors, Stanfield Thomas and Associates of the Tom Douglas Sports Show and Elizabethton Cyclone Football. We're back. We're ready to go. Andrew Lewis, Northeast Community Credit Union. Readers are winners. Year number 2. We're jacked up to do it again this year.
We're so excited.
Yep, we are excited. And so it's a chance for these kids at Eastside Elementary, Westside Elementary, and Harold McCormick Elementary win some cool prizes for reading. What's going on?
The first 9 weeks, we're going to be giving out those cool water bottles. Second 9 weeks, T-shirts.
T-shirts with a new design.
Absolutely. New color, all that fun stuff. The third 9 weeks, we're going to have a sweet new sticker. We'll get more into that later. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Whole point is readers are winners. Year number 2 at the 3 elementary schools and Elizabethton City Schools. Thanks to Northeast Community Credit Union. They're paying for all this to their corporate sponsor, and we love them for doing that. The bottom line is leaders are readers, readers are winners. Year number 2, getting ready to get started up soon, like right now, right away, for all these youngsters, again, at Harold McCormick, Westside and Eastside Elementary. Big thanks to the Northeast Community Credit Union for partnering with us to do Readers Are Winners in Elizabethton City Schools. Back in the Tom Douglas Sports Show, Gary Rowe joins us coming up talking SEC football. We're going to pick his brain about the Arkansas-Tennessee game. And how about this Kentucky Wildcats? At the bottom of the league. He'll have something to say about that. Mrs. Rose over there, she's giggling, so she knows that he's not a happy camper. We'll talk to him in just a second. Summer's here. Love it, love it, love it. We want you to help out with this. This is a really cool thing we're doing, or she's doing. I'm not doing. She's doing. First off, good morning or good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Yep, we want to promote this because we're all about reading. You just saw the Readers Are Winners we're doing with the credit union. So she is going to do something with Carter County Imagination Library. It's a Christmas tree fundraiser. It's a really cool concept. I applaud her for coming up with this. So tell folks what you're going to be doing.
So we are trying to get downtown businesses to house a tree. The business can decorate the tree, or we can have community groups decorate the tree, or even a business that doesn't want to house the tree can decorate that tree and place it in a downtown business. And then we're going to have the trees up for auction online, and all the money that is made will go to Carter County Imagination Library.
Now, let's step back and tell folks who may not know, Dolly's name is on the Imagination Library, but Dolly doesn't pay for this.
Dolly does not pay for the books. Everybody thinks Dolly pays for the books. Dolly, her foundation is in charge of getting with publishing companies to get a book at a discounted rate and helping with shipping. And then Governor's Early Literacy Foundation, they partner with us. And so it's about a 50-50 split with Governor's Early Literacy Foundation.
Yeah. And so we're not putting down Dolly.
Oh, no, not at all. I love Dolly.
We love Dolly because, but the misnomer is her name's on it, so she's paying for it. That's not the case. We have to raise money for the books.
Exactly.
How many do you send out every month in Carter County?
So we were just under 2,000. It varies month to month just because kids graduate out of the program, but it's under 2,000 books, and we were at about 85% utilization in Carter County.
Who gets the books? What age group?
Birth to 5.
So 2,000 kids in Carter County, birth to 5, get a book every month in the mail.
60 books.
60 books in their lifetime till they graduate out of the program. it costs us, what, $5 a book?
So it's about $5 per book. We
Yeah.
split that between Governor's Early Literacy, and then so about $250 for us, $250 for them.
So she's raising money to read for the kids to read in Carter County to help them out. It's a absolute fantastic cause, and so we want to be a part of this and help out. So there are businesses she's asking for to take a tree, put it in their place of business. Who's going to decorate the tree?
So the business can donate can decorate the tree, or any civic group, I don't know, school group, anything like that, key clubs,
Sunday school class,
yeah,
anybody.
absolutely, anybody can do the tree. We just ask that you provide the decorations, decorate the tree, and then we are going to put those online and auction them off.
Yeah, and the money from the tree sales, because somebody's going to get a tree, take home for Christmas, already decorated.
Yeah.
And so the tree and the decorations go to you on the bid. The money goes to Imagination Library. The business gets the benefit of us talking about them.
Exactly.
And so everybody wins, but the one that wins the most are the kids.
Exactly.
So are there needs out there we have? I mean, can you put out more if you had more money to put them out? Or are you maxed out? 2,000 about, have you maxed out your number of kids?
No, I mean, no. Anybody that signs up, we send books to them, but we just have trouble with children moving and not changing their addresses,
Sure.
so they're not getting their books. And, we're at 85%. Where are the other 15 that haven't signed up? So, anybody can sign up for the program and get books.
It's all about the Carter County Imagination Library, which is awesome. Readers are winners. This is the program we've implemented here in the city schools, and it's true. Readers are winners. The late Walt Disney said, readers today, leaders tomorrow. So, and you know this. By the way, we didn't tell you what you do for your day job. Tell them what you do.
So I'm the education manager for Carter County Head Start. So I work with 3- and 4-year-olds all day, every day, and I love it.
Yeah. Book it to the bridge. Big success.
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah.
We had such a great turnout. It was phenomenal this year.
Saw the pictures on Facebook. You had a ton of kids down
Yeah,
there. It's
phenomenal.
awesome.
Hopefully next year it will be even bigger.
And no frowns. All I saw was smiles.
Oh, they
Kids had a
loved it.
blast. Parents had a blast.
They did.
Teachers had a blast. Everybody won. So we're all about reading on this show.
Yeah.
So the Carter County Imagination Library. So we'd like to ask you as a business out there to please consider, she's kind of emphasizing downtown Elizabethton, but I think at this point,
Any business
Business
in
to
Carter County.
business, yeah.
Any business. And we would love to have them throughout businesses all over the county. So if you are willing to have a tree in your business for display, our timeline is about November 10th. That's when we want to get those in the businesses.
Wow.
And then have them auctioned off and ready for pickup around the first week of December. So that way if people want them in their home, they can pick them up and have them for Christmas.
so you got about a month, really.
Yeah, quick turnaround. So
Today's the 5th, so you got
so
about a
we
month.
need help. We need people to decorate trees for us.
Yeah. We giggle and we laugh, but it's Christmas Eve is 79 days away. So there you go. It's here.
It is.
For all intents and purposes, although we're going to enjoy the fall for what it is. But, folks are already thinking Christmas. I know Chick-fil-A's already getting people calling up and talking about booking catering for breakfasts and business breakfasts and Christmas lunches. And so it's here. So how do we get a hold of you and say we want to do this? Because this is a really good thing. This is not about her. This is not about me. This is for these kids in Carter County, teaching them, helping them out to read. And every kid, I remember when I was a little boy, I'm going to tell my age, but and that's okay. But we used to get Boys Life magazines in the mail as a kid, or seeds. We used to sell seeds and get the box of seeds in the mail. Why, we went nuts. Of course, I'm from West Virginia. We didn't get out much, but we went nuts. We got something in the mail with their name on it. So these kids, when they get a book every month with their name on it,
Oh, they love it.
they love it.
They love it.
And so we're doing this for the kids of Carter County.
And I will say we have one of our little nephews. He thinks Dolly personally sends him books every month, and he loves to get his book. He cannot wait. It's such a treat for him. So the kids love it.
So this is Summer, by the way. So how do we get a hold of Summer?
So the best way would be to email me at summerjohnson@carterk12.net. That is the easiest way.
You need to write that down before you leave.
I'll write it down, and then you can always reach out to Tom Taylor, and he can get in touch with me.
Absolutely.
Give you my contact information.
Absolutely. I want to help her do this because this is a really cool thing about these kids to read in Carter County. We're already doing the Readers Are Winners in the city schools at East Side, West Side, and Errol McCormick. So we got the city covered, so now I want to help out in the county. And this is a good thing. And so 2,000 youngins, and again, there's a 15% gap of other kids who will be getting books if we could get the money generated to do that. So 100% of this goes to these kids. She ain't making no money off this. I'm not making any money. And the businesses aren't either. It's simply a way to get books in these kids' hands. Real simple. So a business wants to, so what if you're a business, what do we need to do? Get a hold of you and say, what do we want to have a tree in our business?
Get a hold of me and then just tell me if you are willing to decorate the tree, if you are, and our goal is to have the trees provided, so that way that's an expense off of the business, and then just have those trees that we can drop off, and you can either decorate it, or we can have a decorated tree that maybe someone doesn't want to display, and we can put that in your business.
Yep. So that's what we're doing, folks.
Yeah.
Summer Johnson at
CarterK12.net.
Yeah, you better write that down.
I sure will.
I won't remember that. She'll walk. She'll go over and sit down and go, what did she say?
Yeah, it's fine.
So that's what happens. It just happens. So, but anyway, come back next Monday. Let's keep pushing this, would you please?
Sounds good.
Yeah, we want to do this. This is my hot button for the holiday right here. Want to help these kids. It's real simple.
Yeah.
Pick a tree, decorate the tree. You want to do it Vols, you want to do Hampton Bulldogs, you want to do it Tennessee Titans.
Texas Longhorns.
Texas.
Wow. We
Wow.
won't talk about that though this week. So.
Wow. You're a Longhorn fan?
My daughter is a Longhorn fan.
Okay.
Really hardcore. Yeah.
Yeah, they're asking for Arch Manning to be replaced by Quinn Ewers, so we'll see. But they've got Oklahoma this week. They got their hands full.
Yeah.
In the Red River rivalry. So
It's gonna be bad.
Yep. So if you want to do a Longhorn tree, anything you want to do, you want to do it. Pick something. Charlie Brown, Snoopy, SpongeBob SquarePants.
Dolly Parton themed.
Dolly
Love
Parton.
a Dolly tree.
Pick it. The Beatles, whatever you want to do, whatever tree design you want to do it, you can do it. And then they're going to sell it, and that money will go right back to buying books for these kids.
Exactly.
It's a very simple concept, but it's a good one. Thank you for coming by. I'll see you next
Thank you
Monday.
for
Did you get
having me.
lunch?
Yes.
Get
Not
you some.
yet, I will.
You're going to get some lunch. Compliments of the Tom Bailey Sports Show. Gary Rowe. Oh, I can't wait to talk about his Wildcats. Coming up next on the Tom Bailey Sports Show. Brumman Sports Shop in downtown Elizabethton with your favorite school's T-shirts, polos, or hoodies. They can put your school, church, or company's logo on lots of different styles of hats, including Nike and Richardson and now Travis Matthew. Windbreakers, sublimated shirts, pullovers, koozies. They can order for any area school and your favorite team. Dry fit sleeveless hoodies, Nike dry fit T-shirts, women's and toddler sizes. You can order any uniform for any sport, including the pants or shorts from Brumman Sports Shop. And they always have a clearance rack to save you money. Plaques, trophies, medals, and ribbons, and all the engraving is done in-house. And they offer hard-to-find Letterman jackets of your favorite school for guys, ladies, and now elementary and middle school athletes too. And they offer all the different sports patches as well. Brumman Sports Shop, downtown Elizabethton, Facebook, Instagram, website, BrummanSportsShop.com, phone 542-2321, Brumman Sports Shop in downtown Elizabethton. One of our great sponsors on Cyclone Football, again, the great folks at Ivy Hall Nursing Home. Joseph Taylor, tell us what it's all about.
Yes, sir. We specialize in short-term rehab or long-term care. We accept all major insurances. We accept Medicare, Medicaid. What we really love is people that come in that have had a knee replacement, hip replacement, come to Ivy Hall for some inpatient rehab. We have physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. We have a full-time respiratory therapist. And Tom, you can see I'm a big guy, so you know I like food. I know good food, and Ivy Hall specializes in home-cooked meals, three good meals a day. You can catch me every day right at the door getting my tray myself.
There you go. That's awesome. How do we find out more about Ivy Hall on social media?
Yes, sir. We have a Facebook page, Ivy Hall Nursing Home on Facebook, or a website, ivyhallnursing.com.
One of our great sponsors, folks. Glad to have them on board. Ivy Hall Nursing Home on Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Forgot to mention, big thank you to Harmony Free Will Baptist Church. We got to go there yesterday. They asked us to speak for homecoming, which was awesome, and got a chance to meet the Siler family out of Ohio. Go to the website, the Siler, S-I-L-E-R, thesilerfamily.com. They were awesome. And so thanks to our buddy Brandon Young, appreciate him for asking us to do that. And so I was not qualified to speak as a homecoming speaker. Usually they bring in some heavy hitters, but I thanked him for asking me, and we did it. Lisa May, Terry Morton, Josh Biggs, Landon Timms. Hello to you kids. Thanks for watching. Pete and Crystal Schlegel. So Gary's here. Do we start now about the Kentucky Wildcats? You want to wait, or you just want to go ahead and get that out of the way?
Let's go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off.
Rip the
Yeah.
and let the bleeding begin.
Let it begin.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not good. They got beat by the Georgia Bulldogs 35-14, which really I thought was going to be worse than that. But things aren't good in Lexington.
They're not good. Stoops made a comment yesterday. He's saying he is absolutely will not be walking away from UK program. But it's been pretty well rumored and known that there's been some negotiations already in the works because he's got a pretty hefty buyout and around $40 million, I think, something like that. He makes $9 a year, and so
he makes $9 a year and gets $40 to walk away.
Yeah.
Just economics 101. Who in the right mind will cut that kind of a deal? $9 million annually, but a $40 million contract. I mean, all these coaches have got this. I don't get it, but economics 101. I just don't understand. Dabo's got a $60 million buyout.
Yep.
I mean, it's just absurd.
Yeah.
To be making $9 but get $40 to go home.
I agree. I mean, it's just not. It doesn't make much sense. I mean, you and I, if we're not performing at our job,
we're not going to
I may get a 2-week severance, but I can promise you it's not going to be $30 million.
No, you're not going to get rewarded for walking out the door. So
no.
But that's what these guys have got. So Stoops
is
a $40 million buyout. They got beat by Georgia 35-14. We'll run down where they're going and what they're doing next. Florida upsets Texas 29-21. Does that save Napier's job?
I think it depends. I think it really depends on how the season plays out. I think he's still. I don't think he's secure by any means, but if he were to upset Tennessee, that definitely would secure it. But if he's still got some pretty big games ahead of him, and I just don't think he's completely secure right now.
Vanderbilt, Alabama, the Crimson Tide disposed of Vandy 30-14. You surprised with that one?
No, I wasn't surprised by that, but it was a good ball game up until late. Listen, like him or hate him, Vanderbilt's got a gamer of a quarterback.
He does.
And Bama, Bama fans, I know they're like Kentucky basketball fans. We don't. The honeymoon's very short with head coaches, but anytime you rebuild anything, I don't care in business or whatever, it takes a while, and so DeBoer's system's obviously not what Saban had built, and but that only comes around once every 50 years or so.
Absolutely, good point.
And so they just got to be patient. I think he's going to be okay. But wasn't surprised. Bama's got a solid team, but they're not the Bama of the the 2000s that dominated the nation. But they're still solid.
Texas, Oklahoma beat Kent State 44-0. Texas A&M over Mississippi State 31-9. So the Aggies are a football team that's pretty good. Let's look at this week's schedule. You got number 8 Alabama in the SEC at number 14 Missouri. Who do you like?
Game of the week by far, maybe in all of college. That's going to be a shootout. Missouri is very athletic, very good offense. But they don't play anybody. They have, we talked about that at the beginning of the season. They got the weakest schedule of anybody in the SEC.
Yep.
And they're 5-0, but they've played absolutely nobody. And so, does that translate into them? I mean, they don't dominate Bama, but I think, can they adjust to a good team coming in? Well, I don't know. But I think it's a good game. Nonetheless, I think it's going to be a tight game, at least for a while. I do think athletically, I think Missouri may edge them. It's at home. And I think late they could pull away. So, I think Missouri can beat Bama this weekend.
Number 4 Ole Miss hosting Washington State. Ole Miss, again, number 4 in the country. Number 1, they're on top of the leaderboard in the SEC right now.
Right now, Ole Miss looks as good. At this point of the season, you're starting to see teams pull away. Who are your upper echelon teams? Who are teams that could potentially upset anybody? And then you've got your teams that are just trending down, like Texas. Ole Miss is right up there, in my opinion, with some of your Miamis, and you got Miami and Ohio State, and then it starts to kind of taper a little. But I think Ole Miss is not far behind.
Top 10 this week is Ohio State, Miami, Oregon, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M. The Aggies are there. He's putting together a season. Then you got Oklahoma, Indiana, Alabama, Texas Tech, and Georgia. So SEC is number 4, number 5, number 8, number 10.
Number 6.
Or number 6.
Yeah.
I left them out. So 4, 5, 6, 8.
5 of your top 10.
5 of your top 10 are from the Southeastern Conference.
Yeah.
So Oklahoma, Texas. Sooners, of course, the Longhorns, we know what they did. They stubbed their toe. As I was telling Summer, who's a big Longhorn fan, her daughter is, they want Quinn Ewers at QB now, and I think he's earned that. Oklahoma, Texas, but then the Longhorns come right back, and they win this thing Saturday. They get right back in the hunt. So Oklahoma's 6th in the country. Who wins this game?
I like Oklahoma. Texas is not. The Texas is their third down efficiency is not very good, and you're going to meet a really good defense in Oklahoma, and so you're going to push to a lot of third down situations against a team like that, and so being that they are very inefficient on that third down, I like Oklahoma. It's a neutral field in Dallas, and so the Cotton Bowl. So I like Oklahoma.
12th ranked Tennessee hosting Arkansas. New coach, probably new shot of morale. Arkansas, will that make any difference?
No. Tennessee rolls in this one. Yeah, Arkansas is. They're maybe a touchdown or two better than my team. So
for you Razorback fans, his last name was R-O-E. They have a chance? No, not a snowball's chance. Gotcha.
I think they got a shot. Yeah, they're going to get rolled.
Texas A&M hosting the Florida Gators. We talked about that. It'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff on Saturday evening. The Aggies at Kyle Field and College Station, and the Florida Gators.
I like A&M. It's at home. The 12th man there. It's that does make a difference. I don't care what anybody says. And Florida off a huge victory, and that does, as you and I both know, it does one of two things. It catapults you, or it kind of makes your season. And to be honest, they beat a Texas team who's been overranked all year long, and so, I think they roll into an A&M and
get hammered.
I think they get humbled.
Yeah. Interesting game this week. Number 10 Georgia at Auburn.
Yeah.
Just something tells me it's going to be a close game.
I'm with you.
Auburn may upset them because this is their signature game. They got robbed against Oklahoma on that play they missed.
Yep.
On that touchdown that ended up being the difference of the ball game.
Yeah.
So they're not a bad football team. They can really make a name for Hugh Freeze and the Auburn Tigers at home against Georgia. Who wins that game?
Very possible upset. But I tell you, in my opinion, Georgia's kind of doing the same thing. They're trying to redefine their season in a way. And so I know they played a little tight with Kentucky for a while, but you can see the pieces there starting to come together. I think Stockton's a good quarterback, and defensively they're starting to learn a few things, and I think it's a good game for a while, but I do think Georgia pulls away.
The last one, 11th ranked LSU, some question marks in their football team hosting South Carolina. That's you would think, and I guess you give an edge to LSU being at home, but is this going to be an easy win for LSU or not?
Well, I don't think it's easy. I'm not sure there's any easy wins in the SEC at this point. Unless you play my guys.
Unless you play Kentucky.
Yeah. But I think what you're going to see, what I've seen so far is that both of these teams have kind of let me down a little bit in my early season predictions. I felt like South Carolina, because I know they had some key injuries there and had some bad luck, but I really thought they were going to be a top 5 or 6 team in the SEC, and they've kind of fell off a little bit. But then at the same time, I thought LSU may be the best team in the SEC at one point. So that goes to tell you, you don't know until you kick off. But I think, with LSU, it's hard to put your finger on what the issue is. They've got a very seasoned quarterback. They're great in the skill positions. They're great in the defensive back position. Where's it going wrong? And so is it a personnel issue? Is it a staff issue? I don't know, but I don't think it's the team that they're capable of being. But I do like LSU in the game because it is at home. So I'm going to go with LSU. But
so who's the SEC game of the week this week? Alabama, Missouri, Georgia, Auburn. Who do you think?
I think Bama and Missouri for sure. I just see that one being pretty electric. A lot of offense.
That's a 12 o'clock kickoff to today game in Missouri.
I mean, to beat Missouri, you got to outscore them.
Yeah,
because they're they use their defense just as to give their offense a break.
Yeah,
and so
they're a high-powered offense.
Yeah, they're a high-powered offense.
So 9 out of the 14 teams in the SEC are ranked this week, which I find really incredible, which is really cool. So here's the SEC standings. Right now, the top of the leaderboard: Ole Miss 3-0, Texas A&M 2-0, Alabama 2-0, Missouri, Oklahoma 1-0. Georgia is 2-1. Vanderbilt, LSU, Tennessee, and Florida are all 1-1 in the middle of the pack. South Carolina 1-2, then winless in the SEC. Texas, Arkansas, Mississippi State, Auburn, and your Wildcats. So it's a logjam, really, right in the middle of the pack. It can go. All this is going to change the next 2 or 3 weeks, but right now, Ole Miss is on top of the leaderboard in the SEC.
Yeah, and for a Kentucky fan, this hurts to say this. You know who sits best right now in the SEC? The Tennessee Vols.
Really?
They've got one ranked away game left. And
you talking about Tennessee or Kentucky?
Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I think they're sitting kind of like last year. I think they're sitting in a prime position. Some of their tougher games are going to be at home, which brings an advantage. Again, they do have the one away game that's going to be tough, and not that a lot of those games are going to be tough. And don't get me wrong, but they do have a lot of advantages that I think a lot of the teams don't have, and so I think they're sitting kind of like last year in a good position where they could find themselves if even with one more loss they find themselves at 10-2 going into playoff selections, and so. They've got at Bama. Then you scroll on down, and you'll see their other tough games are home. Oklahoma's at home. New Mexico State, which is a gimme. Florida away. I still don't know that Florida is there yet. And then you got Vandy at home. So
it's not an easy schedule.
It's not an easy schedule, but it's a very doable schedule. And my point is, you're only tough away game as far as a highly ranked team is Bama, and we all know they're beatable. So even if you take a loss to at Bama or either with a high ranked Oklahoma, you're not going to kill yourself in the rankings. You win out the end of the season. I think they're sitting in a good position. I really do. I think Vol fans have got a lot to look forward to because I think they're going to find themselves in the playoff discussion again.
Arkansas at home this week. Then they go to Bama next week, which is a biggie, obviously, down there. You come back home, or you go to Lexington, too, back-to-back road games. Come home to Oklahoma. Then you come home to Mexico State. Then Tennessee goes to Florida, and they go to Vanderbilt to wrap up the season.
Yeah.
Florida will be a throw out the records, be one of those games.
It is, and I think a game like this weekend, I think really could define a Florida season, because if they can, they beat Texas, as we said, they're probably overranked. They were overranked, overhyped, but then they go, if they go into an A&M, they beat an A&M. Their season may completely flip.
Yeah.
They go into A&M and get absolutely throttled, it may go the other way.
So the November, 13th game against Florida down there will be big, I would think, for Tennessee and for Billy Napier.
Oh, for sure.
They may, if he's still there, and I hope he is. I don't never advocate anybody losing their job,
Right.
but it is a performance-based business. We say that every week.
Yeah.
This week, everybody, it's every week is a buyout Monday. Today it's James Franklin at Penn State.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick at North Carolina. They were awful against Clemson.
They're terrible.
Yeah, and they're I don't see them getting any better.
No, I don't either.
So those two, they're calling for those two guys' heads this week. I think there was one other one too. So who's that? Well, they're not real happy with Sarkisian, and they're not happy with Arch Manning down in Texas. So
right.
Every Monday, somebody's wanting to fire the coach and buy him out and run him off. So
yeah. That's one of the disadvantages of college football is it's just once a week. And in basketball, at least you can maybe redeem yourself the next game than that same week. But not the case with football.
Appreciate you coming by.
Yes, sir. Anytime. We
see you next
enjoy
Monday.
It. Yep, I'll be here.
Be next Monday ready to go. We'll take a break. We'll run down some NASCAR, some Major League Baseball, and let's see something else we got to talk about too. Oh, the hailstorm is interesting. On Saturday, they had a hailstorm at Wyoming. Both teams, let's see, I got it right here. Let's say it before we go to the breaks. Interesting. That was kind of cool. On Saturday, they had a hailstorm. Well, the guys were dressed in white, so you couldn't see them. And the field's white. So the pregame hailstorm left the turf blanket in white, forcing ground crews to shovel and delay the pregame activities in Wyoming.
Wow.
So one of the teams was dressed in white. You couldn't see them for the whiteout because it's a hailstorm.
Wow. Interesting.
It is. So
yeah.
Hope it stays up there. Are you a cold weather guy?
Not at all.
Me either. No. Give me hot heat.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's not going to happen.
We get it.
We live in four seasons.
We do.
So
by January, February, we'll get drilled.
Your wife has a smirk. I think she enjoyed. Is she a Kentucky fan, by the way?
My wife comes from a family that knows absolutely nothing about sports.
And could care less.
Could care less.
Married a sports guy.
Married an absolute sports fanatic.
Yeah. And she's like, you're good with that, honey. Whatever you want to.
Yeah, I'll be talking about, to her credit, I'll be talking about something, and she at least acts interested, but I know she could care absolutely.
In one, out the other.
In one, out the other. Could care less. Doesn't know if Kentucky's a college team or a professional team. It doesn't matter.
No.
It doesn't matter.
She's with her guys. She don't care. They be talking about whatever.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
Right, honey, got you. Right.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
It. That's how it works.
Yeah, she retreats to her room and watches Hallmark Christmas while I'm watching sports.
There you go. And everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy.
The row house is happy.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
It's blissful.
Blissful.
Yeah.
Get you some lunch.
Appreciate you, my friend.
Yes, sir. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll take a look at NASCAR. My man's still hanging. We'll talk about that next on the Tom Dolan Sports. A lot of grocery store chains out there. Why Food City?
You know, Tom, I hope you've got a lot of time because I've got lots of reasons why you need to shop at Food City. Our associates are number one. They're here to serve the community and our customers, and they do a fabulous job taking care of our customers. This is a family-owned company, and it's such a blessing to work for a family-owned company. They truly care about their associates. And we're so involved in the community, Tom. We do so much in all the communities where there is a Food City location. Anytime there's any big events, typically you're going to see that Food City logo. And when you're in the store, Tom, you've got quality items to be able to select from. Talking about the produce, we're picky about our produce. We sell a lot of locally grown items. And right now, half runners is what everybody's all about. And then, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the meat department. We have our meat cutters back there every day who cut and grind meat fresh daily. Our meat is beats none other. I mean, it's great products that we sell back there in our meat department, and it's always fresh. And then the food service department, Tom, I love going to the food service department, and no matter what you get, it's always good, it's always fresh, it's always hot. And like our sushi, they roll that fresh daily. And while you're here, Tom, you can always go to Food City Pharmacy and pick up your prescriptions or get a flu shot. It's time for flu shots again. So there's so many different reasons why you should shop at Food City, and I could go on and on about our company.
Value every day, Food City. Lisa Johnson from the marketing department. Food City, proud sponsor, Tom Doder Sports Show and the Elizabethton Cyclone Sports. Value every day, Food City. And back on the Tom Doner Sports Show, got a few more things to take a look at. Hello to Sharon Grindstaff. Thank you for watching the show. Major League Baseball, we've got 2 games tonight. The 6 o'clock game, the early game, be the Dodgers in Philadelphia. Again, as we said earlier in the show with Andrew Smith, the Dodgers and the Phillies. The Phillies don't want to go back to L.A. for games 3 and 4 down 2-0. Blake Snell on the mound for the Dodgers, and Jesus Luzardo will go for the Phillies tonight at 6:08. And the second game, the Cubs in Milwaukee will square off in Milwaukee. It'll be Aaron Ashby will go for the Milwaukee Brewers, and Imanga will go for the Chicago Cubs. And that'll be a 9 o'clock first pitch tonight in Major League Baseball in the playoffs. The other 2 teams will play tomorrow. Talk about that tomorrow. All right, Sunday night football, the Bills lose 23-20 to the Patriots last night. The Bills committed 3 turnovers, only forced 1, ending their 26-game streak of not losing the turnover battle, the longest streak in NFL history on record dating back to 1940. So the Patriots win it last night, 23-20. Game tonight, Kansas City. The Chiefs will be in Jacksonville to battle the Jags. Jags are 3-1, and the Chiefs will take them on tonight. And so Kansas City will do battle with the Jacksonville Jags, led by Trevor Lawrence, having a pretty good season. There'll be a 3-1 team for the Jags tonight. Chiefs, of course, as you know, they're having a losing record right now. And so they'll be at it tonight in Jacksonville for Monday Night Football. NFL for this week, you got 2 good ones. San Francisco, Tampa Bay, they're both 4-1. Seattle 3-2 will be either 4-1 Jacksonville after tonight or 3-2 Jacksonville. That's a good one. The rest of them are kind of lopsided games. Case in point, Denver will be in New York to battle the Jets. Broncos 3-2. The Jets are 0-5. Arizona and Indianapolis, Colts are 3-1. The Steelers 3-1, hosting Cleveland 1-4. Dallas and Carolina will get together in Charlotte on Sunday. Panthers 2-3. The Cowboys are 2-2. Chargers 3-2, and Miami's 1-4. The Rams 3-2 at Baltimore at 1-4. The Ravens are 1-4, and they ain't happy in Ravens land. New England 3-2 at New Orleans 1-4. The game of the week, Tennessee at 1-4. The Titans had my Raiders, who are terrible. I just turned them off yesterday. I was listening to them on the radio, and you can tell in the voice of the play-by-play guy, Jason Horowitz, and Kirk Morrison are the radio guys, and you can tell in their voice. They're terrible, and it's tough to, when you call a ball game and you say, well, it doesn't matter if your teams are winning or losing, that is dead wrong. You don't like to call a loser, I can tell you. Raiders 1-4, the Titans 1-4. Cincinnati 2-3 will be at Green Bay Lambeau, who's 2-1 on Sunday. You have Detroit in the night game next week against Kansas City on Sunday Night Football. The Lions 4-1. We'll see what the Chiefs do tonight against the Jags on Monday Night Football. Next Monday we got 2. Buffalo 4-1 at Atlanta 2-2, and the Bears 2-2 at Washington 3-2. That's your Monday Night Football games a week from tonight. All right. Let's take a look at NASCAR. They whittled it down the Field Cup from 12 down to 8. Shane Van Gisbergen winning the 5th consecutive road race for him this year. So the field, again, eliminations, they head off to, where are they going this week? Going to Las Vegas. 8 drivers moving on to the 3rd round of the playoffs, still alive to win the championship. Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano of Penske. Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, and William Byron of Hendrick Motorsports. And Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, and Chase Briscoe, and Joe Gibbs Racing. Those guys are still racing for a championship. Guys that got knocked out, eliminated in the cutoff race, Ross Chastain, Austin Cindric, Tyler Reddick, and Bubba Wallace were all eliminated. Both of Michael Jordan's own cars are out of title contention now. So they've got, again, Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, William Byron, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bale, and Chase Briscoe. Those are guys still running for a championship, and they run this week. As we said, they'll move into Las Vegas to run there for the race coming up on Sunday. All right, we told you about the hailstorm, which I thought was pretty cool. That was interesting to say the least. We had a whiteout in Wyoming, in Laramie, Wyoming, for the game between Las Vegas and the Wyoming Cowboys. So interesting how this winter weather played havoc, or fall weather, wintry weather played havoc with the game up there on Saturday. So did I get everything covered? I think I did. Milligan's cross-country teams did well over the weekend. We'll be there tomorrow. We'll save that for tomorrow because we'll have lots to talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow's baseball games, by the way, Seattle at Detroit. That's the early game in Detroit. And Toronto and the Yankees. Yankees down again that'll be game 3, series tied at 1. I'm sorry, series is not tied at 1. That's the Seattle-Detroit series. Toronto and the Yankees. I think the Yankees they're down. So they'll play that one tomorrow night. And so we'll take care of that tomorrow. But again, today, you've got the Dodgers and the Phillies and the Cubs and the Brewers going on today, and the American Leagues will play tomorrow. All right, that's going to do it. Big thanks to our guest, Gary Rose, stopping by and talking SEC football. Sean Witten talking cycling football. Summer Johnson talking the Carter County Imagination Library. And Andrew Smith got it started with his visit from the Johnson Press Kingsport Times News sports writers. So that's what we got there. We'll come back and wrap it right after this from Double C Western Supply on the Tom Dillon Sports Show.
Double C Western Supply in Elizabethton, your Cowboy store, and so much more. We have shoes and boots for guys and gals. We have kids' boots and shoes for the little people, too. Ball caps, Marriott Wrangler, and a large selection of Huey. We have purses, billfolds, handbags. We carry a full line of Montana Silversmith jewelry. We have both Lane Frost and Huey cologne and perfumes. We even have several styles of rugs to choose from, and a large kids section full of boots and shoes and jeans and dresses and even stuffed animals. And jeans, and more jeans, both work and casual for guys and gals. Ariat Wrangler in all sizes and styles. T-shirts for men, women, and kids. For cold weather, we have fleece tops and sweaters. And racks full of men's shirts, including the George Strait line from Wrangler. Short sleeve and long sleeve shirts for men and women. Vests and jackets for the cold days and nights for the guys and the ladies. We have a full line of tack and cowboy hats for cowboys and cowgirls, along with belts and a great selection of saddles. So you see, it is a cowboy store and more. Double C Western Supply, Railroad Street, Elizabethton. Find us on Facebook and at doublecwesternsupply.com.
Steins with a special song. Take it away, Axel.
The Eagle Center is right downtown. The second block is where we're found. We have Crocs and clocks and a lot of things. Tools and glass and shiny rings. Coins and books and mirrors too. All these things just waiting for you. Beautiful furniture and much, much more. You gotta come visit our store.
And Axel Steins, of course, is on the show as well. So we're going to wrap this up with a verse today. We always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross today, no different, of course. Psalms 107, 28 and 29 says, Then they cried out to the Lord in their trouble, and he brought them out of their distress. Then they cried to the Lord in their trouble, and he brought them out of their distress. He stilled the storm to a whisper. The waves of the sea were hushed. Can you imagine going out to the ocean, and the Lord just went, and the storm comes to a whisper, and the waves, you can see these big 25, 30-foot waves out there in the middle of the ocean. They were hushed, it says. So I finish it by saying, thank you, Lord Jesus, that you can still our storms and bring us out of our distresses. And thank you for loving us so much that you want to hear about our problems. It's awesome. Thank you, Lord. Again, a big thanks to Harmony Free Will Baptist Church yesterday. Had a chance to speak there for homecoming. Brandon Young, pastor, becoming a dear friend. Also, we had a chance to hear the Siler family. You need to go to the website, thesilerfamily.com. They are awesome. And I met a cool guy yesterday, Jeremy Ward. Man, what a story this guy's got. And so I had a chance to hear his testimony yesterday, and it was awesome. So made a new friend in Jeremy Ward. Lord got a hold of him and changed his life. So got him out of a tough situation, which he'll do if you let him. So there you go. It's a good way to end it. Thanks for watching the show. Back tomorrow at Milligan University. We'll be there. Then Wednesday, we'll be live at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. Then taking Thursday and Friday off and take a little, everybody's fall breaking. We're going to do a little fall breaking too. And so thanks for watching the show. We wrap it up as we always do by saying, bloom where you plant it, and win or lose, be a good sport. Thanks for watching show number 2,372 today at Chick-fil-A here in Elizabethton. Tomorrow we'll be at Milligan University, and Wednesday we'll wrap up the work week here before we take a couple days off for spring or fall break by being live at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. Stacy Carter's due to join us on Wednesday. Greg Salyer, Mr. Baseball, will be with us on Wednesday. I think Jeff Birchfield's going to be there too, talking a little NASCAR. So we have a full plate on Wednesday. We have a full plate tomorrow, talking to Milligan coaches and some of the student athletes. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching the show. Enjoy this beautiful Monday the Lord's given us. Man, it is beautiful here in the hills of East Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. Let me wrap up by saying, if you want to see how awesome our countryside is, get on Mary Patton Highway or Gap Creek Road and come from Elizabethton and drive to Hampton, as I did yesterday morning to go speak at Harmony Free Will Baptist Church. It's unbelievable. The mountains, as you're driving down over Mary Patton Highway, good night. It is awesome. Beautiful. And it just hit me driving over there, and I looked and saw those rolling mountains. The tops of them starting to turn, the colors of the trees starting to turn up in the higher elevations. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful place we live in. We don't ever take it for granted, I hope. I know people who live at the beach come up here and see the mountains. I know us, we go to the beach to see the waves and the ocean, so it all kind of evens itself out. See you back.